Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Andrew Tate. Welcome to another tape in my subliminal series. Listen up. You're losing because you're soft. You wake up late, waste hours on nonsense, and then complain that life isn't fair. Let me tell you something. Life doesn't care about your excuses. The world belongs to the relentless, the disciplined, and the ones who refuse to quit. You're still losing because you tolerate weakness. You let distractions steal your time. You scroll through social media, numbing yourself, while real winners are out there building empires. You eat garbage, sleep in, and wonder why you feel like a loser. Success is simple. It's about control. Control your mind, control your time, control your habits. You stop losing by taking responsibility. No one is coming to save you. You either wake up and dominate, or you stay stuck where you are. Cut out laziness, train your body, master your mind, learn a high-value skill and execute. Winners don't wish. They work, they push through pain. They outlast, outthink, and outwork everyone else. That's how you stop losing. That's how you take what's yours. You're losing because you're soft and undisciplined. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. You wake up every day in the same cycle, following the same patterns that keep you stuck, and then you wonder why nothing changes. It's because you don't have the mental toughness to do what needs to be done. You make excuses for your failures instead of facing them head on. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. Every time you hit the snooze button, you choose weakness. Every time you skip the gym, you choose weakness. Every time you waste hours scrolling through social media or watching mindless entertainment, you choose weakness. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It rewards the ones who push through pain, who work when they don't feel like it, and who take what they want instead of waiting for permission. You are not unlucky, and life is not unfair to you. You are simply not doing what is necessary to win. Weakness isn't just physical, it's mental. All. You lack the discipline to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. You let fear stop you. You let laziness hold you back. You convince yourself that success is about luck or opportunity, but it's not. It's about relentless discipline. It's about saying no to distractions and yes to the hard work that others avoid. When you train your body, you train your mind. When you force yourself to stick to a schedule, you build the foundation for success. Discipline is what separates the winners from the losers. Most people fail because they are addicted to comfort. They want success, but they also want to sleep in. They want wealth, but they don't want to grind for it. They want to be respected, but they don't want to earn it. Comfort is your biggest enemy. It keeps you soft, lazy, and weak. The ones who win in life are the ones who embrace discomfort. They wake up early. They push their limits. They suffer now so they can enjoy life later. That's the price of success, and most people aren't willing to pay it. You have no structure in your life. You wake up without a plan, and then you wonder why your day is wasted. You have no goals, no deadlines, and no urgency. You drift through life, hoping things will change without making the effort to change them. That's the definition of losing. Winners have routines. They wake up with purpose. They plan their day, attack their tasks, and make progress every single hour. There is no wasted time because every second matters. That's the difference between those who win and those who stay stuck. The truth is, you've trained yourself to accept mediocrity. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you reinforce weakness. Your mind becomes conditioned to take the easy path, to avoid struggle, to settle for less. And the more you do it, the harder it becomes to break free. Success is built on the back of habits. If your habits are weak, you will remain weak. If your habits are strong, you will become unstoppable. It's that simple. The ones who dominate in life don't have more talent than you. They aren't luckier than you. They just refuse to be soft. They don't give themselves the option to fail. They operate on discipline, not feelings. They train when they don't want to. They work when they don't feel like it. They stay focused when the world is full of distractions. That's what separates them from the rest. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is going to force you to be great. That's on you. You can either keep losing, keep complaining, and keep making excuses, or you can step up and take control. It's your mindset that determines your future, and right now your mindset is weak. Fix it. Distractions and weak habits are stealing your success. Every day you waste hours on things that do nothing for your future. You check your phone the moment you wake up, scrolling through nonsense, consuming content instead of creating results. You let notifications, messages, and entertainment Dictate your focus instead of setting your own priorities. You don't even realize that your attention is being stolen, and with it, your potential. Winners don't let distractions control them. They control their time, their energy, and their mind. Your habits define your life. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. Most people have habits that keep them trapped in mediocrity. They wake up late, skip workouts, eat junk food, binge watch TV, and procrastinate on the things that actually matter. And then they wonder why they aren't successful. It's because their daily routine is built for failure. Every action you take is either moving you closer to winning or pulling you deeper into failure. There is no neutral. Every wasted hour, every ignored opportunity, every excuse is another step toward losing. You've trained yourself to prioritize comfort over progress. Instead of reading a book that could teach you something valuable, you choose entertainment that numbs your brain. Instead of working on a skill that could make you money, you waste time on things that add nothing to your life. Instead of focusing on building discipline, you let distractions steal your time. Success isn't about talent. It's about focus. It's about cutting out the nonsense and locking in on what actually matters. But most people can't do that because they're addicted to distractions. Your phone, your social media, your endless consumption of useless content, it's all designed to keep you weak. These distractions are engineered to steal your time, your energy, and your motivation. You get a dopamine hit every time you scroll, every time you watch another video, every time you waste another hour. And what do you get in return? Nothing. Just more wasted time, more lost potential, and more regret. The people who create this content are getting richer while you get weaker. They are building empires while you stay stuck in the same place. Weak habits are the reason you never see real progress. You start something and quit the moment it gets difficult. You try to change, but you give up when you don't see instant results. You say you want success, but your actions prove otherwise. Success isn't built on motivation, it's built on discipline. And discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between those who win and those who lose. Most people don't even realize how much time they waste. They think a few minutes here and there don't matter, but those minutes add up. 1 hour of wasted time every day is 365 hours in a year. That's over 2 weeks of potential work thrown away on distractions. Imagine if you spent those hours learning, training, and improving. Imagine if you replaced weak habits with strong ones. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is in how you spend your time. The world is designed to keep you distracted because distracted people are easy to control. If you can't focus, you can't think. If you can't think, you can't win. Every great person in history had one thing in common: absolute focus. They weren't scrolling, they weren't wasting time, and they weren't letting distractions steal their future. They were locked in, they were obsessed. They didn't just want success, they needed it. That's the level of focus it takes to win. Your environment is either making you stronger or keeping you weak. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the habits you follow, all of it determines your future. If you're always around losers who waste time, you'll become just like them. If your environment is filled with distractions, you will never be able to focus. If your habits are weak, you will never be strong. Success isn't something that just happens. It's built brick by brick through discipline, focus, and the elimination of anything that doesn't push you forward. No one is coming to save you. Take full responsibility. The reason you're stuck, the reason you keep losing, the reason your life isn't where you want it to be is because you keep waiting for someone else to fix it. You blame your circumstances, your past, your environment, but none of that matters. The world doesn't care about your excuses. No one is going to show up one day and hand you success. The only way out is to take control, take responsibility, and make things happen for yourself. Most people live their entire lives in a victim mindset. They look at others who have what they want and assume they were lucky. They complain about how hard life is, about how unfair things are, and they wait. They wait for the perfect moment, wait for motivation, wait for help, but nothing ever changes. The truth is, no one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to wake you up early. No one is going to push you to train harder. No one is going to force you to make more money. You either step up and do it yourself, or you stay exactly where you are. Taking responsibility means accepting that everything in your life is your fault. If you're broke, it's your fault. If you're out of shape, it's your fault. If you're unhappy, it's your fault. The moment you stop blaming other people and start looking at yourself as the only reason for your situation, that's when things start to change. Weak people hate to hear this because it forces them to face the truth. They are the reason for their failures. But winners understand this truth and use it to their advantage. The reason you're stuck is because you keep looking for external solutions to internal problems. You think a new job, a new relationship, or a new city will change your life? But the problem isn't out there, it's inside you. You take the same weak habits, the same excuses, and the same lack of discipline wherever you go. That's why nothing ever changes. Until you fix yourself, nothing around you will improve. You don't need a new start. You need a new mindset. You have to stop expecting other people to support you, help you, or believe in you. Nobody owes you anything. If you want something, you have to take it. People are too busy with their own lives to care about your struggles. If you fail, the world moves on. No one is going to stop and feel sorry for you. That's why self-pity is useless. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't pay your bills, build your body, or make you stronger. The only thing that does is action. Most people never achieve anything because they wait for permission. They wait for someone to tell them it's okay to start. They seek validation, approval, and encouragement. The truth is, nobody is going to give it to you. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else does. You have to take action before you feel ready. You have to move forward even when you have doubts. Winners don't wait for permission. They take what they want and make things happen. Every successful person you admire got to where they are because they took full responsibility for their life. They didn't sit around blaming others. They didn't complain about their situation. They got up, put in the work, and made things happen. They understood that if they didn't do it, no one else would. That's the difference between those who win and those who lose. The losers wait. The winners act. The losers blame. The winners adapt. The harsh truth is, nobody cares about your problems. Nobody is going to fix your life for you. And that's a good thing because it means you're in complete control. The moment you accept full responsibility, you take back your power. You stop waiting. You stop complaining. You stop complaining. You stop looking for shortcuts and start doing what needs to be done. That's the mindset it takes to win. Control your time, body, and mind to regain power. Right now, you don't have control over anything. You wake up whenever you feel like it. Waste hours on distractions and let your emotions dictate your actions. That's why you're losing. The people who win in life don't operate like that. They control every aspect of themselves with precision. They decide how they spend their time, how they treat their body, and how they direct their thoughts. That's what gives them power. Power isn't given, it's taken. And the only way to take it is through complete self-mastery. Your time is the most valuable asset you have, yet you throw it away like it's worthless. You spend hours scrolling, watching pointless content, engaging in meaningless conversations, and doing things that don't move you forward. Every wasted second is a second you will never get back. Time doesn't slow down for anyone. While you waste it, someone else is using theirs to get stronger, smarter, and richer. Success isn't about working harder. It's about using time better. Winners know exactly where their time goes. Every minute has a purpose. Every hour is spent on something that pushes them closer to their goals. If you don't control your time, you will always be at the mercy of those who do. Your body is a reflection of your discipline. If you are weak, out of shape, or unhealthy, it's because you lack control. The body is the foundation of everything. A strong body leads to a strong mind, and a strong mind creates a powerful life. When you let yourself become weak physically, you become weak in every other area. You lack energy, you lack confidence, and you lack the ability to push through hard times. The winners of this world train their bodies relentlessly. They understand that fitness isn't just about looks, it's about resilience, self-respect, and discipline. They push through pain, control what they eat, and demand more from themselves every day. That's why they dominate, while others make excuses. The way you treat your body is a direct reflection of how much control you have over yourself. If you can't control what you eat, what time you wake up, or how often you train, how do you expect to control anything else in life? People who lack physical discipline are the same ones who lack financial discipline, emotional discipline, and mental discipline. Everything is connected. The moment you start controlling your body is the moment you start controlling your future. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but you let it control you instead of the other way around. You let fear stop you. You let self-doubt creep in. You let other people's opinions shape the way you think. That's why you struggle. Your mind is supposed to be your greatest weapon, but right now it's your biggest weakness. You have to take control of your thoughts. You have to reprogram your brain to think like a winner. That means cutting out negativity, eliminating weak beliefs, and developing a mindset that refuses to lose. Most people have no control over their emotions. They let stress, frustration, and anxiety dictate their decisions. They react instead of thinking. They let their feelings get in the way of action. Winners don't operate like that. They control their emotions like they control everything else. They don't waste time being angry over things they can't change. They don't let fear stop them from taking risks. They don't let doubt slow them down. They train their minds to be unbreakable. When things get tough, they get tougher. When things go wrong, they adapt. That's the mindset that creates champions. When you don't have control over your time, your body, or your mind, you are powerless. You are a slave to distractions, to weakness, to fear. But the moment you take control, everything changes. You stop being at the mercy of your emotions, your bad habits, and the expectations of others. You start living on your terms. You become dangerous, unstoppable, and unbreakable. That's what separates those who win from those who watch others win. Winners don't complain. They execute relentlessly. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. Winners take action. Losers make excuses. Most people spend their lives whining about how unfair everything is, complaining about their situation, blaming other people, and waiting for something to change. But nothing changes for those who complain. The world doesn't care about your problems. Life doesn't reward those who sit around feeling sorry for themselves. It rewards those who get up, do the work, and refuse to stop until they get what they want. Every time you complain, you are wasting energy that could be used to improve your life. Complaining is a signal of weakness. It tells the world that you have no control, that you have accepted failure, that you are powerless. Winners don't operate that way. They don't waste time blaming the economy, their upbringing, or their circumstances. They take what they have and they make it work. They adapt, they find solutions, and they push forward no matter what. Complaining is for the weak. Execution is for the strong. The reason most people complain is because it's easier than putting in the effort. It's easier to whine about not having enough money than it is to work harder and learn how to make more. It's easier to complain about being out of shape than it is to train every day and fix your diet. It's easier to blame others for your failures than to accept responsibility and do what's necessary to change. But the easy path leads nowhere. Winners take the hard path because they understand that's where the real rewards are. Most people have a victim mentality. They believe the world is against them, that luck is the reason they aren't successful, that other people are stopping them from winning. This mindset is poison. It keeps you weak, dependent, and stuck in the same place. The moment you stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a winner, everything changes. Winners know that nobody is coming to save them. They don't sit around waiting for opportunities. They create them. They don't dwell on obstacles. They find ways around them. They don't cry about failure. They learn from it and come back stronger. There will always be problems. There will always be setbacks. There will always be people who doubt you, situations that test you, and moments where things don't go as planned. But none of that matters if you are relentless. Winners don't stop when things get difficult. They don't get discouraged when they fail. They adjust and try again. They don't complain when life is hard. They embrace the struggle because they know it makes them stronger. Weak people quit when it gets tough. Winners keep going until they win. Complaining is a distraction. Every second you spend talking about what's wrong is a second you could be using to fix it. Every moment you waste feeling sorry for yourself is a moment you could be taking action. Winners understand that time is their most valuable resource, and they refuse to waste it on negativity. Instead of complaining, they focus on what they can control. Instead of dwelling on problems, they focus on solutions. Instead of crying about failure, they use it as fuel to improve. Execution is everything. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how talented you are, or how much potential you have. If you don't execute, you will never succeed. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't waste time overthinking. They don't let fear stop them. They move fast, make decisions, and take massive action. They understand that success isn't about talking, it's about doing. It's about doing. Losers talk about what they're going to do. Winners go out and make it happen. The moment you stop complaining and start executing, you become dangerous. You separate yourself from the weak, from the ones who spend their lives making excuses, from the ones who never achieve anything because they refuse to do the work. When you commit to action with no excuses, no delays, and no complaints, you put yourself in a position to win. The world belongs to those who execute. Your excuses are the chains keeping you weak. Every time you say, I can't, it's too hard, I don't have time, you are reinforcing your own failure. Excuses are the language of the weak, the comfort of the lazy, and the reason why most people never achieve anything. The truth is, every excuse you make is a lie you tell yourself to justify staying the same. You say you don't have time, but you waste hours on distractions. You say you don't have opportunities, but you ignore the ones right in front of you. You say you're too tired, but you never push yourself hard enough to know your true limits. Winners don't make excuses. They don't waste time justifying why they aren't where they want to be. They don't blame their circumstances, their past, or other people. They look at their situation, accept full responsibility, and take action. If something is wrong, they fix it. If they don't know something, they learn. If they fail, they get up and try again. That's why they succeed while others stay stuck. The difference isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's mindset. The weak justify failure. The strong refuse to accept it. Excuses are a trap. The more you use them, the easier it becomes to believe them. At first, you might know you're making excuses, but over time, they become your reality. You convince yourself that success isn't possible, that you aren't capable, that you don't have what it takes. You create your own limitations and then live inside them like a prison. But the prison isn't real. It's built from the lies you keep telling yourself. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you realize you had the power all along. Most people have a list of excuses for why they can't succeed. But there are people in worse situations who still make it happen. There are people who grew up with nothing, who faced obstacles far greater than yours, and still found a way to win. The difference isn't in their circumstances, it's in their mindset. They didn't allow excuses to control them. They didn't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They got up and did what was necessary, no matter how hard it was. That's why they succeeded. You think you need motivation, but motivation is just another excuse. You wait until you feel like it before taking action, but the truth is, you will never always feel like it. Winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. That's why they separate themselves from the rest. The average person only works hard when they're inspired. The disciplined person works hard every day. No matter what. That's what leads to success. Every time you make an excuse, you are choosing comfort over growth. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and relentless effort. It forces you to push beyond your limits, to do things you don't want to do, to face challenges that test your strength. That's why most people never grow. They choose what's easy. They choose to stay in their comfort zone, to avoid difficulty, to remain weak. And then they wonder why they never win. The only way to break free from this cycle is to eliminate excuses entirely. The moment an excuse enters your mind, you have to shut it down. Replace I can't with a how can I. Replace it's too hard with I'll figure it out. Replace every excuse with action. Winners don't look for reasons why they can't. They look for ways to make it happen. That's the mindset that leads to success. In conclusion, the world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you had a tough upbringing, if things are unfair. It only rewards those who take action, who push forward despite the obstacles, who refuse to accept anything less than victory. The question is, will you continue making excuses or will you do what needs to be done?